California, Los Angeles, Hollywood, the Oscars. The flowers are ready, the stars are on their way into town, and the crowds are already here. I'm here to see what it takes to make it here in Hollywood, to see if I can find out how I can grab myself one of those golden statues. Not wrapped up in plastic, but shiny and new, presented to me, Douglas McFarlane, Scots actor and presenter turned filmmaker. I want to know what it takes to make it in Hollywood. I'm just back from a very stressful day waiting to hear what happened at BBC Film London. Got a phone call from Mia Bays, and who is one of the marketing and the answer is unfortunately no. We did a great job. I know that we gave it our best. I'm very delighted with what we put into it over the last 2 months, effectively. Put together a treatment, we put together a synopsis, we put together a schedule, a budget, we created improvements to the script, we revised our locations, we looked at how we're going to pay our actors, we really learned a lot in the process. It was fantastic doing it. We're pleased that we got to the final 10, but there was only so many checks. I think there was 4 given out. That was the plan anyway, and obviously we just missed it. It is all part of the learning process. I've spent I've been in London for a year now exactly. I've taken this to this making Hollywood to Hollywood itself, to the Oscars. We went to Cannes. We're now planning a Sundance and a trip to the 80th Oscars in February of next year. So it's all been a great experience, and I'm looking forward to the next part of the journey. That one was very difficult. There's no doubt. There's a couple of things that came out of it. Then you give a pitch and say, well, a comedy pitch. Well, you're supposed to be funny, aren't you? So quickly over the weekend we had to turn around our script and rehearse it and try and become stand-up comedians, myself and Dishad, overnight. But think of it this way, Doug. You got to the top 10 in your first film. Did you expect to really get all the way there? So yeah, it's been a great experience. Loved it and want more. Making Hollywood, over to Sundance, and over to the Oscars in February. Looking forward to it.
So I remember watching the Oscars that year going, how many years was this? Because you can start to track an artist development arc, and it takes about 10 or 12 years from the time you kind of blast out of prominence in the independent world to the time that you have the potential to be at the core of the mainstream.
And it's not overnight then?
It's not overnight. It sometimes seems that way when you're just locking on to something that somebody appeared out of nowhere. But, I don't think art develops that quickly. I think we live in a culture that's really steeped in artificial celebrity. So things pop out of nowhere, and suddenly you have artificial celebrities that are getting a lot of media attention, and suddenly everybody knows who they are. But that's not art. That's not real deal filmmakers or actors or anybody in any element of production that has real substance and longevity. It takes longer than that.
So,
Doreen Ringer-Ross is Head of Artist Development at BMI Music. I had previously encountered a film music legend back in Hollywood, of course. I wanted to know her thoughts about what it takes to make it in Hollywood.
Just on your craft, on your art, on whatever it is, and the rest will come. People get into a mindset thinking that, they can manipulate things, that they're in control of things, and if they just can manipulate those right meetings or hustle in those right environments, that they can force life to go their way. And, sometimes people do that and it works out for them, and more power to them. But I personally, after doing this for enough years and seeing some of the most talented artists I know sitting home starving, and some of the least talented people I know having fabulous success, I sort of look back at the whole thing going, you know what, fate really, I'm a fatalist, I'm afraid. I think that is ultimately what drives it. But in the you don't necessarily have to sit around in your living room waiting for fate to dole something good down your chimney.
So what would it take for a filmmaker like me to get a composer to give my film star quality, I asked.
It may or may not. First, I think you need to, if you're the filmmaker, you need to make a really compelling film. It has to have something substantial to it that would attract another artist to want to collaborate with you, or, in this case, a composer. But as an artist, I think the best thing you can do is be as true to your art as you can, and hope that somebody pays attention to that.
Passionate words are an altogether more passionate film festival setting.
I'm in no mood today. Wish time would flash by instead of crash by. There's nothing more to say. You can't expect too much when you're living life, and neither rich nor poor. But if you stop and think, you live and breathe. So I go ask for more, and it's all I wanted. Choose the story of your life, and I know I've walked that road before. And as it stands, I could not ask for more. And as it stands, I could not ask for more. And as it stands, I could not ask for more, or for more.
Wow, that was an adventure.